Hello everyone, my name is Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. This time we are reacting to a video called The 4B Movement Failed Before It Even Started. Now I saw this whole thing on Twitter and everything on TikTok as well going on that as soon as Donald Trump won the election, all these women started going completely nuts and saying that they weren't going to be doing anything with men or have anything to do with men, and women were divorcing or breaking up with their significant others over if they voted for Trump. I thought that entire thing was goddamn stupid. I mean, why does it matter if your partner has a different political view than you do? I mean, I take my parents for example. They're on both sides. They're on either side. My dad's a Republican. My mom, I'm not really sure what she is. I think she's a Democrat, but she still voted for Trump. But they still get along fine. I don't see why people have to make it a big deal over what views they have. And this whole 4B movement thing I think is really dumb, but let's see what it has to say.
What's up, y'all? Got a banger from Peas World. Let's get straight into it.
I am 100% on board with the 4B movement for the women on the left. Cut that hair. Tie them tubes. Stop reproducing. The last thing we need is more of your little green-haired gremlins running around shitting in litter boxes. And if you stop reproducing, it's only going to be the children of Republicans that are going to be popping out.
Facts.
So cut that hair. Tie those tubes. Go for it.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. With all the crazy blue-haired Karens that are going about and creating and being the loudest ones out there, just being annoying, if they want to stop dealing with men, stop reproducing, stop having kids, you know what? I don't really care. Do what you want. I'd rather not have more of you people reproducing and creating a society that's full of dumbasses. So, yeah.
Dude, I absolutely love it. I applaud this man. I applaud this take. Just so we have some context, I wanted to get into what the 4B movement actually is. It's the 4B, or the Four No's, radical feminist movement that emerged in South Korea during the mid to late 2010s on Twitter and on the website WOMAD. Makes sense, I guess. The name refers to its defining four tenets, which all start with the Korean language term bi. Bi? Okay, whatever. Meaning no. Its proponents do not date, get married, have sex, or have children with men. So the four no's are no sex with men, no giving birth, no dating men, no marriage with men. Good Lord. Just dying alone. Or maybe being single moms, who knows? Progressivism doesn't seem very progressive to me. But let's get back into the video. I just wanted to give you guys some context so you knew exactly what we were talking about when we were talking about the 4B movement. Let's get into it.
Had a baby boy. The internet is losing it. Not in a good way. So as it says here, Margot Robbie has welcomed her first child, a boy. This girl goes, girls.
Wasn't she on the show Lucifer as Lucifer's mother? Huh.
We lost. Lost what? What did we lose? They go on to say, I can't believe she became a boy mom. Tragedy. Are you well? Are you well? I'm not even going to get into this comment right here. She says,
Boy mom is more of a mindset beyond being a mother of a boy, even though I would abort. But it's simply not fair that a male gets to grow and say his mother is Barbie. Like he's not going to appreciate that in a way a girl would. It's such a waste. It's people like that that should just shut up. They shouldn't be speaking. I'm sorry. What is wrong with somebody having a son? There's nothing inherently wrong with men. There is nothing wrong with men. There's something wrong with people, but there's nothing wrong. If you're going to say there's something wrong with men, then you have to say there's something wrong with women. It's not a one-way street.
it's simply not fair that a male gets to grow and say his mother is Barbie. I would say she could try again for a girl, but I would never want to subject a little girl to having an older brother. Like, what is wrong with people? Not everyone should have an opinion online. That's it. There, I said it.
We spoke about this the other day.
I mean, that's so weird. Why would they not be congratulating her? You go, girl. Have your kid. But I always say misery loves company, bruv. I know the dating scene sucks, but so does getting hurt in an accident. Have you ever found yourself involved in a personal injury case? As an image consultant, I meet a lot of clients who are actually recovering from all sorts of injuries, from car accidents today. They don't want you to be happy. They want you to be sad, just like the rest of them.
So, I just broke up with my therapist.
Breaking up with your therapist? Since when did therapy become like a personality trait? Therapy is one of those things you should go for 6 months and be done. Chat, let me know if you agree. I don't think that you should go to freaking therapy for like a year, 2 years. Me and my therapist, we're best buddies. We're just such good friends. What happened to the good old days? When you didn't even need therapy. You just needed to freaking rub some dirt on it and chew on a stick or something. But it's like nowadays, like going to therapy is like a personality trait. It's insane to me.
And I guess I'll tell you why. Basically, I went in there today. It was more like an emergency session, only because I really have been having trouble. Like, after this election, I really have been having trouble. And so anyway, she had emailed me the other day, and I told her, like, I wasn't doing well, so she made some time for me.
I find it very weird when people make an election or politics their entire personality and treat it like it's gospel. Like it's a fucking cult. They treat it like it's their god. I don't get this. It confuses me how people can act like this when it comes to politics. It is not your entire life. You can't make it your entire personality, and you can't bitch and moan when somebody doesn't agree with you or follows what you believe. Everybody's different. It's people who treat it like a fucking religion. It is, oh my God.
She made an appointment for me, which I appreciate, and I told her that before I left.
Of course she's going to make an appointment from you. She's making money off of you. Stupid. That's what these women don't get.
But, I went in today, and I asked her, I said, I have a question for you, like, I just need you to be honest. And I said, did you vote for Trump? And she made a face, and then she told me basically yes.
Of course she voted for Trump. She's a business owner, you dummy. She wants her taxes lowered.
She did. And I asked her, I was like, can you explain that to me? Like, can you explain that decision to me? And she was like, I mean, for one, his policies. And I was like, what policies? And she was like, well, one thing, I don't like my groceries being so damn expensive, so freaking expensive, something like that. And I'm not gonna lie, that statement, that sentiment gave me great pause, and I didn't really have much to say for a couple seconds.
Imagine judging someone as a person based off their political affiliation. Imagine, dude. I don't care who you voted for. And I think that's the difference between people that are more based and logical versus emotional. It's like all the emotional people seem like they went left with Kamala. And it's like a lot of the logical people that were just based were like, yeah, I'm just voting for who I think is the winner. But like, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to look down on you if you voted for someone. But the left is going crazy on this.
And then I asked her, like, so did you think about me? Like, when you went in that booth, like, did you think about me at all? And she was like, what do you mean? I don't understand your question. I said, you know, your black female child of immigrants client, did you think about me when you went in the booth? She said, no, I don't think about you like that. Like, I come here and I listen to your problems. That's my job.
Did you think about me like that?
And
you can't go into therapy thinking that you are the only person that they are there to help you. You're not their only client. Their entire life doesn't revolve around trying to solve your entire life and make it better. They are there to listen to your problems and try and help you through things, give you advice and stuff like that. They're not there to unravel your entire life and make it better for you. they're not going to base their life decisions solely on their clients. You can't expect them to go and vote for somebody thinking, oh, this may affect my client's life. You make no logical sense.
That said everything.
And her judging her because she said that she doesn't like her groceries so expensive. Well, one, nobody likes having their groceries so goddamn expensive. I mean, I would like it if, shit was a bit cheaper and more affordable, but, here we are where things are fucking expensive as hell everywhere. And most of us live paycheck to paycheck. But what the fuck is wrong with this woman? Why do you got to bring your race into it? What does race has anything to do with it?
That said everything for me. I'm not gonna lie. I considered staying for this session. I considered, small talk or whatever, but I've overextended myself as a black woman for too long. Because the truth is that when I walked into that booth, I mean, metaphorically speaking, I filled out my absentee ballot. But when I filled out my absentee ballot and I voted for Kamala Harris, I voted for her rights. I voted for her rights to the medical abortion she just had to have for incomplete miscarriage. I voted for her rights to that. And you're telling me that...
Here's the whole thing with the abortion stuff. I saw a video on Twitter, and I'm going to show you guys really quick. It's a doctor talking about it, and it's actually pretty alarming. So here's what he said. This is the absolute truth. I did 1,200 abortions, first and second trimester. 1 was for R-wording, 2 was for incest, 9 of 10 were from genetic defects, and all the rest of them were healthy moms and healthy kids. But people don't want to believe that, but it's the truth.
I did 1,200 abortions, first and second trimester. 1 was for rape, 2 were for incest, about 9 or 10 were for genetic defects like trisomy 21, and all the rest of them were healthy moms and healthy kids. People believe what they want to believe, and they don't want to believe that, but that is the truth.
That's from a doctor, bruv. That is from a doctor, and even from me. That's what's so crazy to me. It's like, most of it's just like healthy females. We have a problem with promiscuity. Chat, let me know if you agree with this. We have a problem with promiscuity right now. Women are all on OnlyFans, bucking a ton of dudes, becoming single moms. That's a big problem in my opinion.
Yeah, I think promiscuity has gone way out of control. I personally have no problem with abortion. I don't. If you have been raped, if incest, stuff like that, or if it's a threat to your life, and if you want to get an abortion, by all means, go right ahead. It's your decision at the end of the day. The thing I think some women need to do when it comes to abortion is, if it's an accident and both you and the father and the child are healthy, I think the respectful thing to do is to let your partner know, discuss it with your partner, and see if one or both of you like to keep it. Now, if at the end of the day you decide that you don't want to keep it, the least you can do is let your partner know this, and that you have decided to go on with the abortion. And if they decide to break up with you over it, then that's the decision that they made. But at least it goes to show that you respected your partner enough to include him in the decision making. Now, like I said, at the end of the day, it is the woman's decision to do it because it is her body. She's carrying this child. But if it's not under any other circumstances other than it was just an accident, the least you can do is include your partner in the decision making out of respect. But if it's from any other things that I said in the beginning, then and you want to get an abortion, you know what? Go right ahead. It is your decision. If you don't want to keep it because of those circumstances, by all means, I encourage you to go do it. But, promiscuity really needs to dial it down quite a few fucking levels, because women are giving it out way too goddamn easily and way too fucking much. We need to go back to where I think you should be in a relationship before having sex with somebody. Be it just a regular relationship, engaged or married, either one. Just don't go sleeping with somebody night after night after night, accumulating damn near triple digits. At that point, it just shows you do not care about yourself. And you do not know how to make a good damn decision.
I don't think we should have as many single moms. As we've seen, and I've shown you guys the studies, fatherless homes raise the majority of the degeneracy in society. So do we want more single moms producing more degeneracy, or would we rather promote nuclear families? And if some of those things are taken away and it promotes women not spreading their legs all the time, getting abortions all the time, maybe this could be a good thing.
Cheaper groceries was enough for you to overlook the hate, was enough for you to overlook the violence. It was enough for you to overlook everything that is going to affect my day-to-day life, your client's day-to-day life. And I understand how that could benefit her in some way, and I'm trying not to think
I'm so stupid. I'm sorry, chat.
about it that way, because then that makes her a worse person than I could ever think. But I spent the last 2 years of my life with this person. I'm a senior in college. I was a sophomore in college when I first started seeing her.
That's what I'm saying. It's a personality trait. She's been seeing this chick for 2 years.
She knows things about me that most people do not know. And to know that you view yourself as my white savior, to know that you view me as less than you, to know, I mean, whether you meant to or not, that's exactly what it is.
All right, here's the thing with voting and everything. You can't go into it voting emotionally charged. You have to look at both sides and logically look at the facts and everything that is going into it. You cannot look at it emotionally, because at that point you're going to make a dumbass decision. And here's the other thing. I know there are people who say that those who don't vote have no right to complain. They actually have more of a right to complain than those who did vote the dumbass in. It's like making a mess out of it. I think George Carlin made this analogy. It's like the person who made a mess of their room. The person who made the mess of their room has no right to complain, because they are the ones that made the mess. While those who had no involvement in it, who did not make the mess, have every right to complain about the mess that you made that they had nothing to do with. So if you voted a dumbass in and they're making the problems and making everything worse, those who voted him in have no right to complain about the mess that they made, while everyone who didn't vote for that person or who just didn't vote have every right to complain about the mess that they made, that the person who voted the guy in made, that they had nothing to do with. Now, it's women and men and everyone like this person here who go in voting just off emotion that are causing problems. You want to vote for somebody? Make a logical choice when you have all the facts.
You should have stayed for the session. Okay.
Dude, that unreal. It's just judging someone based off their political affiliation is absolutely wild to me.
Anybody know how to find or hire a hitman or woman? Because we don't want to be sexist. So, but I think we could pull this off collectively.
Ooh, girl, you up with that video. Do you realize
It's really illegal.
that is a felony?
Yeah. You can't go on the internet admitting to wanting to hire a hitman or anything like that, because you can and will get in a lot of legal trouble. And you can get jail time.
We all know who you were referring to. We all know that just because you went and deleted your video, many of us were able to save it or save it from somebody else who already made a video. Your face is now out there for everybody to see. That's actually a really good way to get the cops, the FBI,
Yeah, here's the other thing a lot of people don't seem to think about and realize before they do anything, is that the moment you post it on the internet, it is on the internet forever. You are not going to get rid of it. So you have to really think about what you say and do if you're wanting to post something on the internet, because something you say or do can and will get you in trouble with either just the community at large or with the law. Now, if it's just with society and community, that's doesn't really matter because everybody is offended by something. But you have to be really careful when it comes to the law, because there are plenty of people already who have posted stuff and have gotten in a lot of legal trouble and have gotten jail time.
Why everybody showing up at your house first thing in the morning? Like, are we actually okay? Are y'all not thinking logically here? I just am a
Somebody actually...
Well, what's so crazy to me is they always complain about the violence, but that's the kind of stuff they're posting, is like how to hire a hitman. It's like, aren't you like a big proponent against the hate and against the violence, but yet you're a proponent of it? It cracks me up.
Called me on the phone this morning. We usually talk on the phone in the mornings, and she's like, have you heard of this 4B movement? And I was like, no. And she goes, well, these liberal women are threatening to shave their heads and go abstinent. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to go watch some videos. But you mean they're not going to give birth to any more crazy liberals for the next 4 years? And we've gone so left that now we're right? That they're actually going to practice abstinence, which is really good if you don't want to have to go have an abortion. That's really the way to do it. Because here's my thing.
Yep.
If you don't, having a baby the decision to have a baby should be made before you get in the bedroom, and you shouldn't be having sex with someone that you don't want to have a baby with. And quite frankly, y'all, I hate to say it, this may get me some heat, but y'all aren't exactly the women that men are hound dogging after. Y'all aren't the type of women. And your attitude.
I've never in my...
She's cooking. Let this woman cook, bro. Let her cook.
And your attitudes and the way you look and act, men are not coming after y'all's coochie. They're just not. So do them a favor, and please do go abstinent. That's how many less Democrats that are going to be born? And you're actually not going to be out harming babies? Y'all want to talk about how 50% of women voted for Trump and how our lives are centralized. This one girl, she said, your lives are centralized around men from the moment that you're born, and you want them to think you look good, and you want them to take care of you. You know, it is nice as a heterosexual woman to have someone that thinks you look good, that will open your door, that will pay for your dinner. But that doesn't mean you can't be independent. Hell, I'm a Marine, and I own a firearms business. I do things that average women don't do every day, but I still like having like a real man in my life. So do us all a favor, because, you know...
Hey, shout out to all the service members. Happy Veterans Day. We appreciate you guys, man, for real.
Most men aren't going to want to have sex with someone that's going to go and take out their child if they don't, you know, if they have an accident. So you're really doing everyone a favor. This isn't going the way that you think it is. It's simply not.
What this woman just described at the end there was balance.
To like leave
preaching.
As somebody who has been an sex worker / dancer for the past 7 years.
Are you surprised?
Why do they gotta spell it out? Why can't they just say sex? What's wrong with the word sex?
Looking like a cue ball with the cumbrellas.
And has just now been able to like leave that in.
Does she have heaven tattooed on her neck? The irony. Or maybe her throat is heaven. Maybe that's what it is.
Industry to be doing the social media and just like talking in front of a camera, being myself and having the support of the girls, the gays, and the theys, and being on two completely opposite ends of the spectrum as far as like what I'm doing for work. I have seen how men behave, like truly at their core, raw and unfiltered, and it is fucking jarring. And before any of you are like...
You've seen the men that you've come in contact with act that way. Because women are marketers and men are salesmen, and if you're marketing your body to men, you're gonna get men that are looking at you in an animalistic way. So this makes sense.
Not my husband, not my boyfriend. Girl, you might want to think twice about that. The point being, the way that they talk about women, because they'll come into the club and they'll tell you their whole fucking life story. Some of these guys, I'm like their therapist, right? They're venting to me about their lives and, you know, whatever. And these women...
They're telling you everything because they know you're meaningless. Shots fired! You're a scripper. Come on.
In their lives that they are supposed to love, protect, and care for, the way that they speak about them, their wives, their girlfriends, their sisters, their daughters, their mothers, it is so sick and fucking twisted. It really is. Like
What's more sick and twisted? A man coming into a strip club, speaking about women disgustingly, and just being a disgusting person? Or a man coming into a strip club, being a disgusting person, and then giving you money to pleasure him, and you still do it? Even though you know...
I mean, he's got a point, right? You're hearing all these disgusting things, and you're like, yeah,
or
let me shake my butt.
The one thing I find really stupid with a lot of these type of women is they have these experiences with these type of men, and then they go and think that it's all men. Every single man in existence is exactly like that. When it's only these type of men they seem to be attracting to them. And that's their whole worldview of men. You know, us men can just as easily say that all women are this horrible, this disgusting, this slutty, and whatnot. But a lot of us don't really say that. At least I don't, and a lot of the men that I know don't, because we know that it's not just those it's not just those women. There are many different kinds of women, and there are plenty of women out there who are wonderful, who are angels. So we don't label all women as horrible like a lot of the women out there label all men as horrible because of a few men they have bad experiences with.
But for $10 for a couple songs here. Like, I love how she's trying to play this moral hierarchy like she's ethically the better person. It's like, you're still a stripper, dude. You're still bouncing your butt cheeks for dollar bills. Like, are you really the one to sit here and say who's worse, who's better?
And just the way that they have spoken about, you know, these women in their lives as if they're just like these objects, and it's just like, you know, who gives a fuck? Meanwhile, you could tell that woman in their life thinks the world of this man. Like, it is just so jarring. So if any of you or anyone you know is still fucking on a man that is, one, not as mad as you are about all of this, two, not really doing shit, or three, supporting all of this shit, wake up, babe. We're done. It's done. Pack it the fuck up. The coochie is closed. It's closed until fucking further notice. Like,
you know,
what the fuck is
yours should be?
I have a
the fuck is that?
small circle of men in my life that are vetted. A lot of them I have known the entirety of my fucking life.
Imagine this one vetting. What are the prerequisites to be her friend?
Very small circle of men that are like vetted in my life that I'm like, okay, you're good, you passed the test. Very small circle. Other than that, I'm fucking scared, okay? I'm scared because I know how y'all fucking behave. I know how y'all behave when you think nobody's fucking watching.
Language, honey. Goodness gracious, language. Just a bunch of F-bombs and this and that. And here's a chick I found on Twitter. She's actually cooking, bruv.
This goes out to all the women who are now participating in the 4B movement. Congratulations, you finally figured out what abstinence is. You also figured out that it's kind of important that you want to have a good relationship with the person that you're having sex with, because when you're doing the act of procreation, there's a slight possibility that you might actually procreate a child. You also proved, though, that you are in fact using this as a form of birth control and not in the 0.01% of the two things that I cannot mention on TikTok. But I gotta say, pardon my French, but how fucking dare you that you sit in America and all your privilege and shave your head and post some of the most horrendous, awful, evil, and just disgusting things that I have ever read and seen on the internet directed towards other women who simply just voted different than you. Then call for the eradication of an entire color of men, also just because they voted different to you. You sit there and you fearmonger so bad to women in America, while there are women overseas where it is illegal for their voices to even be heard, where they are bought and sold as pleasure commodities for men. Where were you guys on October 7th when there were things happening to women that I cannot talk about, mention, or allude to on this app because of how awful and disgusting and evil they are? We are so privileged in America to be able to do all of this, and you sit there and just stop bullshitting me.
Bro, preach. I love seeing the based women.
This is what a logical thinking woman looks like.
It's always the best. It's always the best seeing the base women. Let's get into this. Get back into P's World Circus show here. Bro, the shaving of the head.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing videos like this too. It is so goddamn. Look, if you're doing this to donate your hair, then you know what? I applaud. By all means, go ahead and do it. Donate that hair to people who want hair that can't get it, that can't grow it. But the fuck was that? I think somebody either followed my Twitch or just subbed to my YouTube. Okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying. But if you're doing this just because of the 4B movement or just because people voted for Trump, you really need a reality check. You really need to see a therapist. I mean, my God. Come back to reality, seriously.
What is this? What is that? Shaving your head?
I heard people were doing this, and I was like, no. I hadn't seen it yet. For 2 days, I've been hearing about the 4B movement, people shaving their heads, but I hadn't actually seen it yet. What the hell are you doing? Girls, nobody's coming after your rights. They're real. It's not even real. And now you're bald.
Okay, you guys, I'm not trying to be mean, and please don't take this the wrong way. But if you do, I really don't care. All the women, I want to ask you men something. And please be honest with me.
Okay.
All the women that's doing the 4B movement, shaving their head and wearing these blue bracelets, do they look like women that you would actually go for in the first place?
No.
Absolutely not.
Like,
No. Look, just looks wise. Okay, here's the thing. Women this nuts, I don't understand how people like to go for them. I really don't. I think it's fucking nuts. But it's mostly the type of women that almost no man would really go for. And probably a lot of women wouldn't really go for. Just because of how fucking insane they are. Some of them, yes, do have looks to them. But that's all they have. Is it really worth getting with a person that has just looks going for them? No. And for most of the majority of these women that are doing the 4B movement don't really even have that.
Furthest thing from it.
would them be the women that you would actually approach?
No.
Like, keep it all the way 100.
No.
It would never.
Like,
I can probably tell you, I'd say 9.5 to 9.9 out of 10 men would not go for these type of women. Would not. Only the severely desperate ones would go for these type of women. And probably the vast majority of women wouldn't go for these women. And what's even sadder is that there are a small percentage of men who actually agree with this 4B movement shit. Who are actually in favor of these type of women. And there are women who would even go for these men. Because they're just that fucking nuts.
they look
It's
like
natural selection. They're taking themselves out of the dating pool, which is great for us men. We love it.
And also great for some women too.
Avoid us, great. Where are the base chicks at that are hot and natural?
they were already celibate, and it wasn't on purpose. Like, them women look untouchable. And I don't mean that in a
Think so.
gangster way. I mean that as a
Ew, gross. The
25.
poisonous frogs of society. They usually color their hair, put facial piercings all on their nose, septum piercings, the crazy colored hair. It's like a sign. That's what the venomous frogs do in the Amazon. That's what they do.
5 cats in their house and it smell like piss. Like, do them women look like they are actually the women that y'all would literally go for?
No.
Like, y'all are literally doing this movement and you shaving your head for nothing.
Nothing.
Because the men that I know wouldn't even look at you twice. Like, literally, they would jump over you to get to every other woman.
They'd probably just give you a half look, maybe a quarter look, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Besides you. Like, tell me if I'm wrong, man, because I'm looking at these women like, do y'all even like me? Because half of y'all look like y'all playing for the other side, but hey, that's just on me. Like,
I can't lie to you. There are
she's preaching. I love it. She's so right though. She's so right. A lot of these women look like they're swinging for the other team. They're not even playing for the right team here. But the 4B movement is actually wild. But at the end of the day, the 4B movement's doing...
I honestly don't even know how the 4B movement started. If somebody could, you know, enlighten me on how it all birthed itself, came to be, I'd appreciate it, because I have no idea how it started. I know it started in South Korea, but I have no idea how it came to be. Excuse me.
What we need it to do, but they feel empowered about it. That's what's so... It's kind of beautiful, right? It's like, wow, like, you guys are doing what we want you to do, but we didn't even have to ask you to do it. You think it's empowering to do it. It's even better. It's like the best brainwashing technique is to convince someone else that it's their idea and it's so empowering to themselves. So shout out to the guy that invented the 4B movement. And who knows if it was a guy? Who knows if it was a chick? I don't know, but like, at the end of the day, it's great. No sex, no giving birth, no dating men, no marriage with men. Like, cool. You ladies can stay away. We want the based conservative women. That's what we want. The logical ones. That's what we want. Unless I'm tripping, chat. Let me know if I'm tripping.
I don't care what your political affiliation is, as long as you are sane and logical, then you're fine by me. And you know, you're somewhat physically attractive. Because despite what some people think, physical attraction is a thing. That is something. That's what pulls somebody in is at first is the physical attraction. But yeah, I don't care what your political affiliation is. I really don't. As long as you are sane and logical, that's fine.
But I feel like that's what most guys want. A base logical chick. Like Cash just got home from getting the groceries. She's putting the groceries up. That's what I want. She ain't into all this like, yeah, women empowerment and tie your tubes and shave your head. The last thing she wants to do is that. It's beautiful. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go cop the ebook, The 4 Pillars of Personality. Makes you irresistible to women and respected by men. And also The 4 Steps to Style. Makes you irresistible to women and respected by men. It's in the description below. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace.
Well, that was the 4B movement failed before it even started. I can probably say with certainty that a lot of these women who are into this 4B movement thing don't even know how it started in South Korea or what even started it. All they saw was what the 4Bs were, and that's it. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments below about your opinion on this whole 4B movement bullshittery. But, yeah, subscribe for more. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.